Guys, please watch till the end so this evil grandma doesn't catch us. Hello, everyone. This is Sheriff Labrador.
Guess who we're running from today?
Yes, I'm not alone. Dobie is with me. We're trapped in the house of an evil grandmother, and our goal is to escape. We need to be quiet so we don't wake her up, but it won't be easy.
You think she's just an old granny? But that's not the case. You should see what she's done to this house. Grandma has set up real challenges in her home.
She hated her grandchildren and decided to feed them cookies until they popped like balloons. But we managed to save them, and today we will stop her evil.
Let's start the escape. Oh, look, it's a photo of that old man we already ran away from. Looks like they're married.
Oh no, I hope she doesn't wake up. I remember how we escaped from that old man. Be sure to watch it on our WoW channel.
Looks like this valve leads to the attic. I hope Grandma doesn't catch us here. Oh, she even set up mines. Why do you think this old woman locked us in a cage?
She probably loves cats. There are pictures of them hanging around, though all grandmas love cats. Maybe she wanted to make soup out of us.
Look, we're high up, and there are spikes below us.
I hope we don't fall right into Grandma's mouth when we get out of the vent.
Me too. It would be tragic if she ate us right away.
There's a lot of dust in the vent. It's annoying me.
Oh, look, Grandma is right in front of us. I hope she doesn't wake up.
Let's jump on her stomach. Oh, unexpectedly, she didn't notice us.
Look, teeth in a jar. Ew, that's disgusting.
We need to hurry before she wakes up. She's running right after us.
Oh no, green snotty cookies. Better not step on them. She even farts. She might grab our tails. Look, a red button. We need to press it quickly.
This button opened a passage. Let's run there before Grandma catches us.
Look, Grandma turned red. We need to jump next to her.
Now she doesn't even pay attention to us.
There are a lot of cookies here. I was right. She loves cookies.
The evil grandma is so clumsy she even dropped a glass of milk.
She forgot about us. She's not even trying to catch us. Oh, look, a huge fan that will lift us up. There are traps along the way, but we won't give up.
We'll easily overcome them. I completely agree with you, Dobie. There are no obstacles we can't overcome.
Oh, we almost fell back. We need to be more careful.
Hooray, we overcame the traps.
Don't celebrate too early. Let's see what's behind the door.
Look, we're in some kind of dungeon.
Let's jump on these geysers. I think they'll help us move forward.
Hey, Dobie, don't you think it's getting too hot in here?
Yes, it's very hot here. Let's get out of here quickly and have some ice cream.
Phew, the board broke under us. I hope it doesn't happen again.
Look, a vent. I think we should climb into it.
The vent is dusty again. I hope there are no spiders here.
I wouldn't want to see a giant spider.
Oh no, we fell into the room where Grandma knits.
I hope we don't meet her here.
I wouldn't want her to knit a scarf out of us. Listen, something's rolling. A giant ball of yarn.
We didn't make it to the safe place. I hope we'll be luckier next time.
It's convenient that there are holes in the walls here. Otherwise, we would have been crushed long ago.
I see the exit. We can tell some interesting stories because a battle with Grandma awaits us ahead.
Once, in one of the neighboring districts, strange things began happening. At first, it seemed like an ordinary event. Rumors started spreading about an old woman who had settled at the edge of the town. She looked perfectly normal. Gray hair, glasses on her nose, and a hooked nose, just like any other grandmother. But as the days went by, people started noticing odd things. She never talked to anyone, and the children who went into her house started disappearing. Parents were in a panic, but no one could figure out what was going on.
Sheriff Labrador and I decided to investigate. At first, we thought it was just rumors and overreactions. But when we peeked inside this grandmother's house, we discovered something inexplicable. In one corner, there were strange potions. In another, books on magic. And on the walls were portraits of children who clearly had stopped growing. We quickly realized that she was no ordinary grandmother. In fact, she was a witch who used her charm and disguise to lure children into traps.
We began keeping an eye on her. She hid her true nature by pretending to be a kind old lady, but as soon as children entered her house, she used spells to turn them into statues made of cotton. In this place, they became useless toys, which she could display in her shop window or use for her dark rituals. The more we investigated, the more oddities we uncovered. The grandmother witch was a master of transformations, and her powers were dangerous for the entire town.
Once we learned about her sinister plans, we had to come up with a way to stop her without putting the children at risk. We decided to sneak into her house at night when she would be sleeping. While Labrador distracted her, I found a hidden passage that led straight to her basement. There, I discovered a magical circle that was being used for the transformations. We realized that to stop her spells from working, we needed to destroy the circle and reverse everything.
While Dobby figured out how to destroy the circle, I kept the witch occupied. She didn't immediately realize that we had uncovered her. But as soon as she did, her face turned sinister. The grandmother started transforming. Her body became more twisted, and her eyes filled with bright yellow light. We knew we had to act fast, or she might regain control of the town.
Time was running out. I rushed to the magical circle and, using everything I knew about magic, managed to destroy it. As soon as the circle was destroyed, the witch screamed and tried to break free, but her power was weakened. All the transformed children returned to their normal forms, and she herself turned to ash, disappearing into the air. We were in shock at how close we had come to a disaster.
Once everything was over, we returned the children to their parents, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But we knew that there could be other dark forces lurking under disguises in our town. We decided to stay even more alert and prepared for such events. After all, we must always protect our citizens from such dangers.
This case was a real lesson for us. It reminded us that the world can be full of hidden and dark threats, and we must be ready for any surprises. Labrador and I promised ourselves to always stand guard and protect our town from any evil creatures that may threaten it.
Another mega cool story. It all started when a strange pizzeria appeared on the outskirts of town. At first, it seemed like just another ordinary place. But as soon as Dobby and I started patrolling the area, we immediately felt something was off. People who entered the pizzeria came out with huge smiles on their faces. But what caught our attention was that they were literally swelling up before our eyes, becoming more and more round.
Labrador and I decided to find out what was going on. Soon we discovered that this pizzeria didn't belong to ordinary people, but to cyber robots disguised as grandmothers. These robots were programmed to feed anyone who fell into their trap with a special meal. But the food they served wasn't just delicious. It started filling people's stomachs with air, making them swell up like balloons.
All this time, Dobby and I couldn't understand what kind of technology was behind these strange robots. We started observing them and soon realized that these cyber grandmothers were designed to lure townspeople into a trap. Every time someone ate their pizza, the cyber grandmothers used hidden mechanisms to fill their bellies with air, causing them to expand to enormous sizes. And strangely, no one could stop themselves. Eventually, they would just pop like balloons.
Labrador and I started planning how to stop this horrible machine. We realized that if we didn't intervene right away, the whole town could turn into one giant bubble that couldn't withstand the pressure. To stop it, we needed to break into the pizzeria and destroy the main source of this evil plot. We knew the cyber grandmothers would be guarding the place with incredible strength, but we couldn't let this threat continue.
Once we snuck inside the pizzeria, we saw the main cyber robot, the grandmother, standing at the counter, serving food to the customers. We immediately knew she had to be destroyed to end this. But as soon as we got closer, she started making strange noises, and her metal parts began moving like a real robot. That's when we realized she wasn't just serving food. She was also activating a hidden mechanism that accelerated the inflation process.
It wasn't an easy task. I noticed an old, eerie computer near the pizzeria, which seemed to control all the cyber robots. Labrador and I decided the best way to win was to destroy the system controlling them. I ran over to the computer and, with the help of an old hacker tool, managed to shut off the power. At that moment, all the robots lost control, and they could no longer serve the food that caused people to inflate.
Once we disabled the main power source of these evil robots, the whole pizzeria fell silent, and the townspeople started returning to their normal sizes. Those who were on the verge of bursting began to feel fine, and their former shapes returned. In the end, we were able to restore order to the town. The cyber grandmothers no longer posed a threat to our world. But we knew this story wasn't over, and we had to be ready for new threats that could come from the most unexpected corners.
And that's how this tough battle with the cyber grandmothers came to an end. Labrador and I knew we couldn't stop there. We kept patrolling the streets of the town, because in the world of animals, there's always room for new dangers. But this time, we managed to win. Our town was safe again, and all the residents could breathe easy, knowing we're always on guard.
We managed to get through and escape from that evil grandma. Thanks for watching till the end. But this isn't over yet. There's another mode ahead. Let's go. Guys, help us! Quickly like the video, leave a comment, and watch it until the end, or we might fall straight into the lava.
Hello, everyone! Imagine you're stuck in an abandoned pizzeria where danger lurks at every turn. The main goal is to escape this creepy place. But be careful. The terrifying chef Papa Pizza is on your trail, cooking up his horrible dishes from human parts. Yes, you heard that right. This will be a true test of your agility and wits.
Welcome to our channel, friends. It's your sheriff's Labrador and my trusty partner Dobie, back with you again. Today we have something special. We are embarking on an exciting adventure in a Roblox mode called Escape from Papa Pizza's Pizzeria. Dobie, tell everyone what challenges they'll face.
Oh yes, guys. You'll face puzzles, traps, and the need to quickly run away from this crazy chef. But don't worry, Labrador and I will be there to help you every step of the way.
Ready for an incredible adventure? Then get comfortable, gather your courage, and let's see if we can escape Papa Pizza's Pizzeria together.
Oh no, Labrador, where's the light? It seems Papa Pizza is after us. Hide, Labrador. We need to act quickly and precisely because Papa Pizza is right on our heels.
Oh, guys, he's right behind us. Do you see those scary eyes and that creepy apron? Papa Pizza is cooking his horrible dishes and wants to add us to the menu. We need to find a way out urgently.
Exactly, Labrador. Listen carefully, guys. To save ourselves, we need to find a hole in the floor and jump into it. It's our only chance to escape this crazy chef. Let's move quickly. We don't have much time.
We did it, guys. We're safe for now, but stay alert. There are always new challenges ahead in this game.
Thanks for being with us, and until the next adventure. Whew, that was scary, but we made it. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and leave comments about what modes you'd like to see next. And now we are...
Yes, in the stinky sewers. Oh, the smell here is terrible. But we have no choice, guys. To get out of here, we need to climb through a hatch. The problem is, Papa Pizza is waiting for us up there.
Exactly, Labrador. The hatch leads directly to the bathroom, and Papa Pizza is already there, ready to catch us. But we have a plan. First, we need to find the hatch and climb up carefully. Then we'll try to outsmart him.
I see the hatch ahead. Be careful and watch your step to avoid traps. Dobie, do you think we can outsmart Papa Pizza?
Of course, Labrador. We need to be smarter and faster. Guys, as soon as we climb through the hatch, be ready to act quickly. We need to figure out how to bypass Papa Pizza and escape.
Let's try. Here's the hatch. I see it. Is everyone ready? Climb carefully and quietly. Just like that. We're almost there.
Oh no, he's here! Run, guys, faster! We need to find a way out of this bathroom and avoid Papa Pizza. Labrador, where to next?
We got through that scary web. But how did Papa Pizza turn into Papa Spider? Oh no, we stepped on a spike. We'll have to start over.
Now we're navigating through a spiked trap. We have to be very careful not to get caught in them.
Yes, Dobie, this is definitely not a place you want to get stuck. Watch your step, guys, and stay away from those menacing spikes. We can handle this together. Stay close.
After this trap, another challenge awaits us. We'll have to do parkour over old pipes that could collapse at any moment. Be careful, guys, and help each other out.
Once this was an excellent establishment where all the animals of the city came for the best pizza. But something happened, and now Papa Pizza has closed his pizzeria and become incredibly evil. They say his secret recipe was stolen, and since then, he lost all interest in cooking. We're here to find out what happened and try to escape this creepy place.
Yes, Labrador, you're right. This place is filled with an atmosphere of eerie abandonment. Papa Pizza was famous for his recipes, but after the theft, he completely changed. Now the pizzeria is not a place of joy, but a labyrinth full of dangers. We must be careful. We just passed by the kitchen, and there was a huge pile of dough, as if Papa Pizza was trying to recreate his recipes, but failed. He couldn't make that magical pizza anymore.
We've seen how the pizzas turned into real traps. Remember that giant pizza that fell from the ceiling right in front of us? That's definitely not the pizza we're used to seeing. Papa Pizza has set up many traps here to make sure no one can escape. At one point, it seemed to me that he was wandering these corridors himself, guarding his lost empire.
Yes, this pizzeria has turned into a real nightmare. We went through the kitchen, and there were pizzas with teeth. Something incredible. And those pizza boxes that open and try to grab you certainly don't add any confidence. Papa Pizza clearly doesn't want anyone to get out of here alive. His malice has soaked every corner of this place.
Now we've reached the main hall and everything is turned upside down. Broken tables and chairs, scattered ingredients. Everything indicates that a real chaos happened here. Papa Pizza, losing his secret recipe, transformed from a kind chef into a real monster. We have only one option left. Find a way out of this madness and try to restore the pizzeria's former glory.
I agree, Labrador. We've overcome many challenges, but the most important one is ahead. Papa Pizza may be evil, but we've proven time and again that we can handle any difficulties. Let's keep moving to escape this place and perhaps help Papa Pizza find his former self.
Friends, I want to share a very secret story with you. It all started when we received several strange reports from the residents. They claimed they had seen a living pizza that moved on its own and seemed to have its own plans. At first, we thought it was a joke, but when the number of reports increased, it became clear that something unusual was going on. Dobie and I decided to check out these reports and went to the location where the most calls were coming from.
When we arrived at the scene, we were greeted by frightened residents pointing to Papa Pizza's pizzeria. It looked normal, but something was off. We cautiously entered and immediately noticed unusual tomato sauce marks on the floor. We followed these marks and ended up in a storeroom where we were in for a real surprise. There was a huge living pizza moving around and making strange noises. We realized it wasn't just alive, but also aggressive.
It turned out that this living pizza was the result of an experiment gone wrong by Papa Pizza. He had wanted to create the most delicious and unique pizza in the world by adding rare ingredients and a special magical seasoning to his recipe. But something went wrong, and the pizza gained its own consciousness and the ability to move. Moreover, it decided that it could become the ruler of the city and take control. Dobie and I realized we needed to act quickly to stop it.
We began to devise a plan to neutralize the living pizza. It was important not only to stop it, but also to ensure that something like this wouldn't happen again. We remembered that the magical seasoning could be neutralized by adding certain ingredients to the pizza. In search of these ingredients, we turned to our friends in the city, and soon we had everything we needed. The hardest part was getting close to the pizza to add the ingredients, but our teamwork and determination helped us succeed.
After several attempts, we managed to neutralize the living pizza. It lost its movement and became just an ordinary pizza. We returned it to Papa Pizza and explained what had happened. He was shocked and promised not to use magical ingredients again. The city regained its peace, and all the residents were grateful for our rescue.
This story was an important lesson for us about how experiments can be dangerous if you don't know when to stop. We realized that our job is not just to protect the city from external threats, but also to prevent internal problems. From now on, we will always be more careful with any unusual events, so that such incidents won't happen again.
We finally made it out of that pizzeria. These challenges were pure hell. Pizzas with trap flavors, trampolines throwing us into endless nightmares. But now, even more adventures await us. The forest. And it seems Papa Pizza hasn't forgotten about us. He's still on our tail. We need to find a way out through these dark trees, or we'll end up in his clutches forever.
This forest is really creepy, Labrador. It's as dark as a basement, and I can hear something rustling in the bushes. We've survived the pizzeria traps, but this will be even harder. The key is finding those trash bins with fences. I'm sure that's our only chance to escape. We need to climb, jump, and then we'll be able to get away from Papa Pizza.
Do you hear that? It's him. Papa Pizza won't back down. He's chasing us, and we need to move fast. Those trash bins with fences are our way out. But no matter how hard we try, this forest feels endless. We'll have to jump and hope that the next trash bin is the one that will lead us out.
No shadow or sound will stop us, Labrador. We've already gone through the horrors of the pizzeria, so this forest is just another obstacle on the road to freedom. The key is not to lose our heads. We're almost there. Let's jump over the fence and break free from this forest like real sheriffs.
Here it is, the spot. We're at the last trash bin. This is our chance, Dobie. We need to jump straight into the darkness, but I believe there's an exit there. Let's go.
We did it, Labrador. Just a few more steps, and we're safe. Papa Pizza didn't catch us, which means we're free again. See you soon, friends.
Here we are, friends. The pizzeria is behind us, and the forest too. We've gone through all these trials, and despite Papa Pizza trying to catch us, we broke free. I hope you enjoyed our adventure and didn't forget about us while we were running away from that giant pizza. Friends, quickly hit the like button and watch the video until the end so that the evil doll lets me go. What? Where are we, Dobie?
I don't know, but it looks like a children's room with toys everywhere.
Wait, this is something strange. It looks like we've ended up in a room full of evil dolls. Hey everyone, today Dobie and I are trying to escape from the house of evil dolls.
Wow, what's ahead of us? Many scary trials and puzzles. Our goal is not just to get out, but to defeat the evilest doll.
Look at this room. It has a strange atmosphere, kind of like childhood memories.
I agree. We've come back to our childhood, but this is definitely not the place we'd want to be.
It seems like we need to go through this narrow passage. It looks like it leads straight to the house. I hope the doll doesn't start hunting us right away.
We found some candy. I wouldn't try it. Who knows? Maybe she poisoned them. We need to collect 10 of these candies.
Looks like we need to jump here. Let's put that off for now and explore the house. Maybe we'll find something useful.
Here's another candy. Yay, a checkpoint. This means if we die, we can come back here. Look at how much she loves her portraits. Seems like you took your words too literally. It wasn't worth dying just to check. I thought you could go through there. There's another hole ahead. Should we go down? It looks like a place straight from hell, but not exactly.
There's a mountain of dishes here.
For me, a mountain of dishes is real hell.
I hate washing dishes. I actually like it. I turn on my favorite music and sing along. It really lifts my mood.
Strange. Looks like no one's cleaned here in years. Maybe she just buys new dishes instead of washing the old ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't find another explanation for this mess.
It seems like we still have a long way to go. I can't see the end. These arrows seem hypnotic, like they were made to cause hallucinations.
Did you notice? The floor is like lava, but roses are growing in it. Looks like hallucinations.
I see them too. Nice, we've reached another checkpoint. Seems like the end is near. I hope there's no parkour ahead.
I'm a little tired already. These toys, I feel like there's something sinister about them. Maybe the souls of children are trapped inside.
Brr, creepy. By the way, did you know that the toys in the game Poppy Playtime aren't actually bloody, but a mix of red poppy? I've been studying the plot of this game recently. It's pretty interesting.
No, I didn't know that. I'll have to check it out sometime. But look, we've been tricked. This isn't the end. However, I can see a house in the distance. Looks like we need to head there.
Let's hurry. I even see a Ferris wheel. That looks like an interesting place. I wish the amusement park were near the police station. Hey, Labrador, have you ever thought about candy?
Of course, who doesn't love it? Do you have a favorite candy?
I think my favorites are chocolate candies with nuts. What about you?
I prefer caramel candies. They're so tasty, like sweet music in the middle of the workday.
Sometimes caramel is a real lifesaver. But you know what's better than candy? I don't know. Maybe even more candy.
Just look at her. Why is she sitting there, staring at us and not even greeting us?
It seems like she's pretending to be a lifeless doll, but in reality, she's watching us. That's much creepier.
Maybe we need to find a way to open the gate. Here's a button. We need to press 3 of them. It also says we can hide. Clearly, a dangerous trial awaits us.
Let's go. Look, she's coming down on her long braids. How does she even see anything with those eyes?
Oh no, let's hide quickly. We need to observe her from a safe place.
Let's climb higher. Maybe she won't see us.
Did you see her braids flashing past the room? I would hold my breath.
Let's not forget our main task. We still need to press 2 more buttons.
Good thing we looked around. It's always useful to check everything. There are many rooms here where we can hide, so this trial won't be too hard for us, especially with our experience.
I keep hearing her whispering. It's really unsettling.
The City of Beasts has always been a place where the most unusual events happened. But one of the strangest occurrences took place when the candy monster appeared. It all started when a new candy factory opened in our city. All the residents, especially the children, were thrilled. The factory promised the most delicious and unusual candies. But soon, strange things began to happen. The children complained that the candies started behaving strangely. They seemed to come to life and move. Things got even worse when a real monster, made of sweet treats, broke free from the factory.
This candy monster was terrifying. It was huge, with caramel eyes and lollipop teeth. Every time it stepped on the ground, the sound of cracking candy filled the air, and the atmosphere was filled with a sweet but unpleasant odor. It began to destroy everything in its path. Stores, homes, and even roads. Labrador and I had to intervene urgently. We started investigating what exactly caused the appearance of this monster. We found out that all the candies at the factory were made using experimental ingredients that gave them monstrous power, but also caused unusual mutations.
Dobie and I decided to act quickly. There was no time for a long investigation. We needed to stop the monster urgently. Using our skills and new technology, we managed to find its weak spot. Upon arriving at the factory, we discovered that, despite its terrifying appearance, the monster was actually vulnerable. All the candies that made up the monster were controlled by a single mechanism. We realized that if we disrupted this mechanism, the monster would disappear.
We decided to infiltrate the factory where the monster was created. It was dangerous, as each step could lead to further destruction. But Labrador and I acted swiftly and confidently. Soon, we found the most important part of the factory, a secret storage of the ingredients used to create these living candies. We destroyed the special machine that generated them and immediately began to notice the monster losing its strength. It started to shrink and disappear until it turned into a pile of regular candies.
When the candy monster vanished, the city was once again filled with peace and tranquility. The factory was closed, and all its dangerous ingredients were destroyed. Dobie and I returned to the station, reflecting on how unusual events can affect our city. We realized that sometimes even the most harmless things, like candies, can lead to real catastrophes. But thanks to our teamwork and skills, we managed to stop this threat.
After we defeated the candy monster, our city returned to normal life. Labrador and I understood that it's not only important to solve problems, but also to prevent them, so such disasters don't happen again. The city became safe again, and the children could once again enjoy their sweets without fear. But we always remembered this incident because, as strange as it sounds, candies might not be as harmless as they seem.
In our city of beasts, there has always been no shortage of unexpected events, but one day something truly unusual happened. It all began the day the circus came to town. Among the many attractions and shows was a huge toy store. All the little animals eagerly went there to pick out new toys. But by evening, Dobie and I received a strange call. A mysterious virus had infected the toy store, causing all the dolls in the shop to come to life. They began to move and speak, and some of them became aggressive, causing panic among the children and parents.
When we arrived at the scene, the situation was already under control, but the tension in the air was palpable. We saw the dolls in the shop's windows one by one, standing up and crawling out. Some of them looked friendly, but others, not so much. They started marching through the city, scaring the residents. It was clear that this virus, which had infected the toys, was far more serious than we had thought. Instead of delighting children, the dolls had become a threat to the whole community. Labrador and I immediately began our investigation.
It turned out that the virus that turned the toys into living beings was the result of an experiment by a scientist who once worked with circus dolls, trying to create robots that could mimic living creatures. He had accidentally created something that developed self-awareness. These dolls were no longer just toys. They began to think and make decisions. Some of them didn't like being mere toys for children, and they decided they needed more freedom.
Realizing that we were up against not just ordinary toys, but sentient beings, Labrador and I decided to proceed with caution. We started tracking the dolls' every movement, but they were too fast and agile. We needed to find a way to stop the virus that had brought them to life, or else they could take over the entire city. We set up special equipment to investigate how the virus worked, and soon discovered its source, a strange control panel hidden at the center of the toy store.
We quickly infiltrated the store, and with the help of special devices, we disabled the control panel. But, unfortunately, the virus had already spread so much that even without a control source, the dolls kept moving. However, when we activated the program to neutralize the virus, the dolls began to slow down and eventually stopped altogether. It felt like a miracle, but we knew that it wasn't just about defeating these animated toys. We also needed to figure out how to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Once all the dolls had returned to being just toys, Labrador and I went back to the station to assess the damage and analyze how we could prevent such situations. we realized that even the most harmless things, like dolls, can lead to big problems if they're not properly controlled. But the most important thing was that we had prevented a disaster and restored safety to the city.
That's it, friends. We finally defeated the evil doll queen. This battle was a real challenge. See you soon, friends. Hello, friends. It's Sheriff Labrador here again with my tireless partner, Sheriff Dobie. Today, we've jumped into a totally crazy mode in Roblox called Shrink or Grow to complete the obby. This is going to be a real puzzle challenge. Hit the like button if you love obbies and comment below who you think will complete all the levels faster, me or Dobie.
Hey, everyone. Oh, guys, this isn't just any obby. Here, you don't just jump over obstacles, you also have to change sizes at the right time. In some sections, you need to shrink down to the size of an ant to crawl under barriers, while in others, you need to become a giant to leap over massive gaps. It seems like we're going to need all our agility and cleverness to make it through this obby.
It all starts with a small level where we learn how to change sizes. There are magic platforms that either shrink us or grow us. And right from the start, it's clear that this won't be easy. You need to time your jumps onto the platforms perfectly to get the right size and avoid falling into the abyss.
The backstory of this mode says that this obby was created by a great scientist who accidentally mixed magic potions and created a world where size doesn't matter. His lab was filled with experiments, and eventually the entire world turned into a maze with changing scales. Now we have to navigate through his creation to find a way out.
But be careful, friends. The mode is full of traps, disappearing platforms, moving blocks, and even spikes that pop up out of nowhere. And the hardest part is choosing the right size at the right time so you don't get stuck or fall. Imagine, you need to shrink to slip under a laser and then instantly grow to avoid falling from high platforms.
There are even sections where you have to switch sizes mid-air. For example, shrinking to slip through a narrow passage, then quickly growing to leap over a giant gap. It's like an acrobatic show, but with elements of magic and awesome obby challenges.
We can get help from special power-ups, speed boosts, double jumps, or temporary invisibility to get through the toughest sections. But you still have to find those power-ups, and they might be hidden in the most unexpected places, like under a platform that you can only see when you're mini-sized.
And of course, at the end of each level, there's a big final jump that you can only make if you choose the right sizes in the correct sequence. It's like a true test of speed, reaction, and logic. Guys, let us know in the comments which size you prefer, tiny or gigantic. And Dobie and I are setting off on our journey through this incredible obby. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new adventures and escapes.
In some sections, you don't even need to grow larger. I just returned to my original size and easily got through it. Dobie, do you see this beautiful staircase we're walking on? It's painted in rainbow colors. Wow, it looks amazing.
Sheriff, look back. With each step you take, the staircase disappears. You're lucky you're moving fast enough to get through it. The best move here would be to grow bigger and start running as fast as possible, just like Sonic.
Oh, we've hit another staircase with waves. Let's grow larger here too and try to just jump over it. Guys, watch and remember these hacks. These Roblox modes really test your cleverness, and Dobie and I are super resourceful. We always find solutions to any tough challenges, right, Dobie?
That's right. Wow, this looks like a real water slide, just like in a water park, but without the water. By the way, I've often responded to calls at water parks. It's a place where anyone can easily get injured. We're not medics, of course, but we have to figure out how they got hurt. Who knows? There might be evil scientists or wizards at the water park. We're always on guard, keeping order.
Hey, have you noticed that with each level, the obby gets harder and harder? The traps activate faster, the platforms disappear quicker, and the gaps between them get wider. It's like the scientists set everything up specifically to confuse us. But we're not that easy to fool, right, Dobie?
Of course, we're real sheriffs. The key is to choose the right moments to change sizes. Labrador, it seems like something changes every time in this obby. I see some new paths that weren't there before. That means the further we go, the tougher it gets. But we're not giving up. The main thing is to keep our balance and remember to change sizes at the right time.
Dobie, did you see what happened to the town square? At first, I thought I was having vision problems or maybe I was just too tired. Imagine this. I'm walking downtown in the morning, and suddenly I see the statue in the square has grown to the size of a house. And just a little further, right across from the cafe, there's a tiny car, barely bigger than a toy. I couldn't believe my eyes. Was this really happening? Only later did I find out that it was all the work of an evil scientist. He invented a device that can enlarge or shrink anything.
Labrador, I was shocked too. When I saw that giant thing in the square, I thought it was some elaborate prank or a movie being filmed. But then, when I saw a giant mailbox fall right in the middle of the street, scaring all the passers-by, I realized something was really wrong. And the scariest part is that this scientist, Dr. Shrank, decided he could use his invention to establish a new order in the town. He enlarged everything he considered important and shrank everything else, as if he had the right to decide what the town needed and what it didn't.
Yeah, Shrank definitely got carried away with his device. He figured that if he made his invention known to the world, he could dictate terms, and the town would become his personal playground. At first, everything looked chaotic. Giant objects blocked the streets, tiny buildings got lost among huge bushes and benches, but when he enlarged the town hall tower so much that it blocked out the entire sky, that's when it became a real problem. We knew we had to do something fast, but it wasn't easy. Shrank's device was very powerful and compact. It could be anywhere.
Labrador, do you remember how we started searching for Shrank? We decided he must be hiding nearby to keep an eye on the results of his actions. We split up to search the area, and I found one of his hidden labs on the outskirts of town. It was full of all sorts of strange gadgets, and I almost stepped on one of his miniature robots that was patrolling the entrance. At first, I thought it was just a toy, but then the robot started making alarm sounds, and I had to act fast to avoid causing a scene.
You did a great job, Dobie! While you were checking out the lab, I stumbled upon Shrank himself. He was busy checking the results of his latest experiment. He had shrunk the fountain in the park down to the size of a cup and was laughing like a madman. I decided to play it smart and started distracting him with conversation. I told him his invention was really impressive, but hinted that without his device, the town couldn't function normally. You should have seen his face. Shrank was beaming with pride. But as soon as I noticed that the device was on his belt, I knew this was our chance.
Labrador, you're a master at distraction. While you were talking to him, I managed to get closer and start deactivating his security systems. Those devices were set up to interfere with any attempt to get close to the main gadget. But luckily, I managed to bypass them using that miniature robot I had grabbed from his lab. And as soon as Shrank got distracted by your comment about the impact of his invention on the town, I made a dash and grabbed the device.
Yes, we defeated him there, but there was another situation related to this mode. It all started like an ordinary day. We were doing our usual patrol of the area when we suddenly noticed strange, shiny blocks appearing in the square, resembling those from computer games. I thought it was some new art installation or maybe an advertising stunt. But when I got closer and saw that the blocks looked like they were made of magical gold, I started to worry. Then we discovered that these were actual lucky blocks created by an evil wizard.
Labrador, it was incredible. At first, I thought you were joking when you said the blocks might be real. But as soon as I saw them up close, I realized they weren't just decorations. They had some kind of magical aura. As soon as we started investigating these blocks, something unexpected happened. One of them began to glow and emit strange sounds. We were lucky to be attentive. As soon as I touched one of the blocks, it opened up and a bunch of colorful sparks flew out. These sparks filled the air, and I knew we were in trouble.
Yes, and that was just the beginning. When we opened a few more blocks, it became clear that they weren't just decorative. Each block was somehow linked to the wizard's magic. One of them released actual fire elementals that immediately began wreaking havoc in our park. Another block triggered a snowstorm right in the middle of summer. We quickly realized that we needed to find a way to stop this magic and figure out how it all connected to the wizard.
Exactly. And you know what was the hardest part? Not just the blocks themselves, but the fact that they started attracting people's attention. Everyone began to gather around, and panic ensued. We tried to explain to people that these weren't just amusing toys, but a serious threat. Fortunately, we had a little time to figure out how to handle the situation. We decided we needed to find the wizard himself and figure out how to stop all these anomalies. But, as it turned out, he was aware of our interference.
Yes, the wizard was very clever. We started deciphering the note and realized that the wizard had left clues on how to neutralize the magic of the blocks. It turned out that each block was connected to a specific element. fire, water, earth, and air. To stop them, we needed to find special amulets that the wizard had hidden in various locations around the city. We managed to find all the amulets and stop the magic of the lucky blocks, and everything ended well. Thanks for watching and listening to this video, everyone. Goodbye for now.
I found 2 amulets, and Labrador found the other 2. It will be interesting to see what happens next. Stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye for now.
Hello, friends. It's me, Sheriff Labrador, and my trusty partner, Sheriff Dobie. Today we're diving into one of the coolest modes in Roblox, Escape from Lilo and Stitch's prison. Yep, Lilo and Stitch, those alien heroes, are now prison guards, and our mission is to escape from them. This mode is full of cosmic traps and puzzles. Are you ready to see us in action? Dobie, do you think we can pull this off?
Hey guys, of course we can. But it won't be easy, Labrador. Stitch is a real monster. Fast, strong, and a little crazy. Lilo isn't far behind, always keeping an eye on order and patrolling the cells. It looks like we'll have to use not just speed, but brains too. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment if you want to see how we escape from this cosmic chaos.
You're right, Dobie. Stitch could show up at any moment and start chasing us all over the complex. I heard there are special alien devices on this level that will help us hack the security systems and open the doors. But first, we need to find batteries hidden in different corners of the prison. Ready to go searching?
Absolutely ready. The first thing we'll do is sneak through the ventilation shafts. It's safer than going straight through, especially if Stitch has already started hunting us. Plus, Lilo is constantly checking the cameras, so we need to stay hidden. And don't forget, guys, leave comments with your ideas on how you would escape from Lilo and Stitch.
Good plan, Dobie. The ventilation shafts will lead us to the storage room where the first batteries are hidden. We need to move quickly and quietly to avoid drawing attention. And by the way, friends, if you enjoy our adventures, don't forget to give us a like. We definitely can't pull off this escape without your support.
Exactly. And remember, if we do everything right, we can disable the force fields Lilo set up throughout the complex. But it won't be easy, because Stitch can appear out of nowhere and start chasing us. Well, Labrador, ready for some adventure? And you guys, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss more of our escape missions in Roblox.
Dobie, have you ever thought we'd meet real aliens? I sure didn't expect it. But imagine this. Just recently, while we were sitting on the lawn enjoying the sunset, a huge glowing object appeared in the sky. At first, I thought it was a star or a satellite, but then I realized something was off. It was too bright and approaching too fast, and just as I barked, an alien ship landed right in front of us.
I remember all of it. At first, I thought it was just a big ball someone had thrown too high. But when the ship hovered over the ground and the doors started opening slowly, I nearly jumped. And then those strange beings came out, so tall and glowing. Did you see their big eyes? They were like huge lanterns lighting up everything around. At first, I thought we'd have to run, but instead, they started greeting us.
Yes, it was unbelievable. One of the aliens approached me, and I just stood there, frozen. He didn't do anything threatening, just looked at us and said something in his own language. And then, suddenly I understood him. He was speaking telepathically. He said, "Don't be afraid. We come in peace and want to invite you as guests. We've been watching your planet for a long time, and especially you dogs. You've impressed us greatly."
You know, Labrador, I still can't believe they chose us. Out of all the creatures on Earth, they decided that dogs are the best representatives of the planet. But when they invited us to visit their home, I thought, what about our toys? What about our bones and walks? But then I remembered, they're aliens. This is a chance to see something completely new. And honestly, I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
Exactly. At first I was worried about how we'd manage without our usual world, but curiosity won out. We boarded their ship, and inside, everything was so strange. The floor was transparent, and it felt like we were floating in the air. The walls were glowing, and these little robots were flying around, checking the ship. I looked over at you and saw your ears twitching with excitement. But honestly, my paws were shaking a little too.
I remember saying to you, Labrador, are you sure they're not taking us to another planet as pets? What if they want to keep us forever? But the aliens were so kind. They even offered us special resting spots on the ship, like our beds, but made of some soft, glowing material. It was so comfortable. And then they showed us a screen with their planet. It was so beautiful, glowing and shimmering in all kinds of colors.
Did you see how it looked from above? Those huge rings surrounding the planet and the strange buildings that seemed to be built upside down. When we landed, they took us to their city. Dobie, it looked like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. There were flying cars everywhere, plants that glowed, and animals, unlike anything on Earth. They were transparent, but moved just like our cats or birds.
Yes, I noticed those transparent creatures. They were so friendly. One of them even came up to me and tried to play, just like our cats. But what surprised me the most was that they had no word for war or conflict. They told us that on their planet, no one fights. Everyone lives in harmony, helping each other and caring for nature. I thought, why isn't it like that on Earth? We could learn so much from them.
Absolutely. They said that on their planet, everyone works together to improve life. Even the animals, as you noticed, play a role in that. Remember how they showed us their schools? Little alien pups were learning to understand the sounds of nature and how to interact with plants. And when they took us through their central park, I was blown away. The trees were glowing, and each one seemed to talk to us, radiating warmth and friendliness.
It was incredible. I remember thinking they lived in some kind of perfect world. But do you remember when one of the aliens told us they'd been searching for someone from Earth to be their ambassadors of friendship? And they chose us. They wanted us to tell the people on Earth about their planet and bring their message of peace. I turned to you and said, Labrador, it looks like we've got a new mission.
Yeah, it felt like a real honor. We're always rescuing someone or helping others, but this was on a whole new level. They asked us to be the bridge between their world and Earth, to share their knowledge and teach others how to live in harmony. We were so touched by their offer that we agreed right away.
And when we returned to Earth, I realized this was just the beginning. We didn't just experience an amazing adventure, but we were given a chance to change something in our world. Now, I feel like our mission isn't just to save people and animals, but to teach them what we learned on that incredible planet. And you know, Labrador, I think we can do it.
Dobie, do you remember the day Lilo called us for help? It was just a regular evening, and we were about to go for a walk when my collar started glowing and a strange symbol appeared on it. I knew right away this wasn't a normal call. It turned out to be an emergency signal from Lilo herself. She said her pet, the alien Stitch, had gone missing and no one could find him. We immediately realized this was serious.
Of course, I remember that moment. Stitch isn't just any pet. He's a real alien experiment with a bunch of superpowers. As soon as I heard he was missing, I knew the search wouldn't be easy. We quickly started making a plan. You, as always, suggested we gather all the available information on Stitch, where he was last seen, and any strange behavior. After all, this is Stitch. We knew he could have disappeared anywhere.
You're right, Dobie. Lilo told us she last saw Stitch near the beach, but then he just vanished. We decided to start searching there. I remember arriving in Hawaii, the place where Lilo and Stitch usually hang out. The beach was quiet, the sun was setting, but there were no signs of Stitch. I thought if he had really gone missing, he might have used one of his abilities to hide. We decided to split up. I'd head into the jungle, and you'd talk to the locals to see if they noticed anything strange.
Yeah, Labrador. I remember running through the village, talking to people. Everyone knew Stitch, and a few said he'd seemed unusually tense in the past few days. Someone mentioned seeing him heading towards an old volcano, but didn't think much of it. Meanwhile, you were searching the jungle. I started worrying that Stitch might be in trouble, but knowing his abilities, I didn't rule out the possibility that he'd gotten caught up with some alien ship or portal.
When I entered the jungle, the first thing I noticed were strange tracks on the ground. They were small, but their shape wasn't from any normal animal. They were Stitch's tracks, leading deeper into the forest. I followed them, but the further I went, the stranger the surroundings became. Suddenly, vines attacked me, wrapping around my paws. I realized they weren't just regular vines. They were something alien. I had to use all my strength to break free. At that moment, I knew Stitch might have been captured by these creatures.
When you didn't respond, I started getting worried. I decided to follow you into the jungle. We couldn't waste time. I remember finding you while you were fighting those strange vines. I rushed to help, fighting through them as you freed yourself. Once we were out, You showed me Stitch's tracks. We followed them together. Everything pointed to something unusual ahead, and my instincts told me we were getting closer to something big.
And then, after a long search, we came upon a clearing with a strange object in the center, resembling some sort of alien mechanism. There were drones flying around it, guarding the entrance. And there, right in the middle, we saw Stitch. He was trapped in some kind of cocoon, and it looked like the mechanism was trying to do something to him. I immediately realized it could be an experiment gone wrong. We had to act fast to save him. Thank you all for listening to our story. We'll see you soon in a new Roblox mode. Hello, dear friends. It's me, Sheriff Labrador and Sheriff Dobie. Our parents sent us to Nanny Betty again, but they don't know that she's completely lost her mind. Betty, open the door. Oh no! We found ourselves in a creepy place once again, in the game Escape from Betty's Scary Nursery, Part 2, in Roblox. It seems like Betty has no intention of letting us go easily. Today, we have to find and fix 3 electrical levers to start the generator and escape this grim place. Hit the like button if you're ready for this challenge, and comment who you think Betty will catch first, me or Dobie.
Hi, friends! Today we'll have to work hard to get out of this abandoned kindergarten. According to the story, Betty locked everyone in because she thinks we stole her favorite toy, but in reality, she hid it herself and forgot. Now, she believes everyone is lying and trying to deceive her, so she set traps everywhere and stays close by, always trying to prevent us from escaping. We need to fix 3 levers to activate the main exit. The problem is that the wires are broken all over, and there are puddles of water throughout the kindergarten that conduct electricity.
Oh, these levers could be anywhere. In locked rooms, under broken stairs, or even in old vents. To fix them, we need to find wires and connect them, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Betty constantly roams the corridors, whispers her creepy songs, and tries to scare us. As soon as we start fixing the wires, she shows up, trying to disrupt our work and send us back to the cell.
And the most interesting part is that these levers can change places every time we reload the game. So we always need to be on guard and explore every corner of the kindergarten. Betty thought of everything. The traps are hidden behind old toys and shelves, and some doors only open after you fix the electricity. It's really scary here, especially when the lights turn on in dark rooms and you see the giant eyes of a doll watching you.
This kindergarten used to be an ordinary place. But after Betty took over, everything changed. She found old blueprints and wires and started fixing them in her own way. But instead of bringing back light and comfort, she created a true maze of fears. They say she got these blueprints from a strange man in an old suit who promised to return her favorite toy if she helped him with his dark plans.
On top of everything, there are traces of her past failed repair attempts. Broken robots, sparking wires, and toys that react to any movement. If you accidentally bump into something, you can trigger an alarm, and then Betty will definitely know where we are. And if she catches us, she'll send us right back to our cell, and we'll have to start all over again.
But guys, it's not all bad. There are useful things in the kindergarten too, like door codes, hints from former pupils that can appear on the walls as drawings or notes. And if you manage to do everything right, you can even open Betty's secret room and find what she guards so fiercely. Maybe that will help us finally escape.
Guys, keep your fingers crossed for us. Let's hope we can handle this madness and finally get out of Betty's kindergarten. Don't forget to hit the like button and comment what you think about this mode and which traps you find the hardest. We're off to find the levers and fix everything as quickly as possible. We're sure that with your support, we'll get through all of Betty's traps and prove that no scary kindergarten can frighten us. Onward to freedom.
Dobie, do you remember that strange call we got 2 weeks ago? Who would have thought that someone would call us to an abandoned kindergarten that had been empty and semi-ruined for years? When we drove up there, we immediately got an uneasy feeling. Everything seemed too quiet, and it felt like someone was watching us from the dark windows. And you know, the strangest thing was that there was a chain on the gate, but the wicket was slightly open, as if they were expecting us.
Yeah, Labrador. I remember it like it was yesterday. As soon as we got closer, I felt that eerie chill down my spine. Not a soul around, just the wind rustling old toys on the playground. And inside, in the building, everything looked like it was frozen in time. Half-rotten toys, children's drawings on the walls, and that dusty silence that always fills places long forgotten. But even stranger was the sound coming from inside, quiet, barely audible, like children's voices. We decided to go inside and check out what was happening, despite all the warnings. Who do you think left that call?
I've been wondering about that ever since, Dobby. Whoever that anonymous caller was, they clearly knew this place would pique our interest. We walked down the corridor, and with every step, the feeling that something was wrong only grew stronger. The walls were covered in strange marks that didn't look like children's drawings. And when we reached the main hall, we saw that old piano in the corner, and a strange doll sitting right on top of it. It looked too new, like someone had just placed it there. We started inspecting the room, and I found that old journal with the caretaker's notes. But the creepiest part was when you picked up the doll. It started playing a melody, and the doors slammed shut behind us.
Labrador, I'll remember that moment for a long time. As soon as the doll started playing the melody, chills ran down my fur. We tried to open the doors, but they seemed stuck to the frames. And from the corners, we started hearing those same children's whispers. We were trapped in that hall, and the sounds grew louder, turning into a real chorus. Then I noticed shadows starting to appear on the walls, like children standing around the perimeter of the room. I thought we'd fallen into some kind of trap, maybe spirits or something like that. But when we found that strange chest under the piano, I realized it might hold the key to everything happening.
Yeah, that chest looked completely out of place there. It was locked and had the same strange symbols as on the walls. It was as if it was all part of some old ritual or game that we were drawn into against our will. We tried to open it for a long time, but couldn't. Then I remembered an old legend told by local elders about something terrible happening in this kindergarten long ago. They spoke of a strange ceremony conducted here, and ever since, the place was cursed. Maybe that chest was what linked the kindergarten to those events.
And you immediately said it was the key to the mystery. We started looking for clues that could help us open the chest. And Labrador, remember how you found that old map under the floorboards? That was a true masterpiece of detective work. We realized that the map marked certain places in the kindergarten that would help us solve the mystery. We went through all those points, and each one revealed another piece of the puzzle. It was like a treasure hunt, but with a supernatural twist. In the end, we found the key, a small copper key hidden behind a painting in one of the corridors.
Opening the chest was an adventure in itself. But as soon as we opened it, everything in the kindergarten started to change. Those shadows on the walls began to fade. The doors swung open and the whispers stopped. Inside the chest was an old book with notes, possibly the diary of one of the caretakers. It described strange events that took place in the kindergarten long before it was closed. It turned out the caretakers were indeed performing some rituals, trying to protect the children from an unknown threat. But something went wrong. It seems like we lifted the curse, freeing the place from dark energy.
Yeah, it felt like we freed the kindergarten from something sinister that had been clinging to it all these years. After we closed the chest and put it back, everything began to return to normal. But you know, Labrador, I can't shake the feeling that someone deliberately left those clues for us and called us there so we could finish what had been started long ago. Maybe it was the spirit of one of the caretakers or one of the children who just wanted peace. But one thing I know for sure, we did the right thing, and now this place can truly be called free.
We finally found all the light generators and turned on the electricity in this creepy kindergarten of Betty. Now, we just need to connect the last 2 electric barrels to power the main doors and finally escape. But as soon as we started running away, Betty got electrocuted, and now she's become super strong Nanny Betty. She's chasing us down the corridors, and we have to navigate through a ton of obstacles to get out of here. Like the video if you're rooting for us, and leave your tips in the comments. We can't do it without you.
What a twist! We thought it was almost over, but Betty found another way to make things harder for us. After she got shocked, she became even stronger and faster. Now she's unstoppable, breaking down walls and jumping over obstacles like a superhero, but a very angry and scary one. And we've got no time to rest. We're racing through the corridors, jumping over scattered toys, and crawling under broken ladders, and Betty is getting closer and closer.
Exactly. As soon as the electricity came on, it seemed like everything was almost settled. But Betty doesn't give up that easily. She's catching up, throwing toys at us that she's using as weapons. And it seems like she's getting stronger with each encounter. These corridors are insane. Trapdoors open underfoot, floors rise and fall, and creepy dolls pop out of the walls trying to slow us down.
And here, guys, the main thing is don't stop. Run, Labrador, run, run, run. Run, Labrador.
Oh no! Betty caught us. It's very sad, friends. Now we'll have to live in her kindergarten, but we'll definitely escape from here. According to the legend, Betty was an ordinary nanny until she found this strange amulet. At first, it gave her powers, but over time, it started changing her. Now, after being electrocuted, she's completely out of control. It seems the amulet absorbed the electricity, making her even stronger and more dangerous. See you again.